So today we have some citrus lavender tea. It's from Tea Bottom. Anyways, hey guys, welcome back to my channel today. If you're new here, my name is Vida Lobati, and yeah, my last name does sound Italian. I don't know why, because I'm definitely not Italian. But I have a video today about how to make friends as an adult, because it is quite hard, especially navigating adult life at the same time. But anyways, before we get into that today, make sure that you follow me on Instagram and my TikTok at Vida Lee, and make sure that you follow me on Twitter at Vida Val. I'll make sure to link those in the description box. And then don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe on this video as well. Make sure that you subscribe and turn on the post notification bell as well, so that way you can get my videos right on time as I post a video once a week. Without further ado, let's find out how you can make friends as an adult. Okay, so I've noticed something with people that have gone to college, which I do tend to is a little bit different than people who didn't attend a four-year university, or at least didn't attend a school or a university that wasn't in their hometown. But I have noticed with a lot of people who did go to a four-year university, they tend to live in a city that doesn't happen to be in their hometown. Not all the time, but more often than not, that is the case. I know I've experienced that for sure, because I went to high school, middle school in a Southwest Missouri town, and how I ever even survived that is a whole nother conversation in itself. But anyways, after I graduated from college, I ended up moving to the East Coast, and then after I lived there for a little bit, I ended up moving into the Midwest, or back to the Midwest, which is where I am now. So I have a few tips and tricks on, I guess, in terms of how to make new friends where you don't know an absolute soul, because both times that I moved, I knew absolutely nobody. Point blank period. Also, side note, I know even if you do live in your hometown still and you just don't shuck and vibe, I guess, with maybe the people there, or you just have different interests or something, I still think that these tips that I have, they still apply. I don't want to like alienate anybody who's watching this or anything like that. So I tended to notice that this type of issue tends to pop up more with people who did leave their hometown and then moved to a completely different city and they didn't know anyone. Again, that is based off of my personal experience, because I did, I went to high school in like a town of like 200,000. It's not small, but like not that big, So anyways, let's get into it. Before I start off into the tips, I just want to reiterate again, over and over and over, how important it is to be your most authentic self. Again, don't be an asshole, but you do need to be your most authentic self. And I think that is derived from having a values-based system, and also having a strong sense of self and core inner being. All right, so picture this. You've graduated from college and you've gotten your first job. Now you are moving to a brand new city where you know absolutely nobody. The first place that I think most people would think to make friends is at the workplace, which I definitely think can happen. You watch like my previous toxic roommate story. There are also, some issues with making friends at the workplace, which, I'll get into that in a little bit. But I do think that you can make friends at the workplace nonetheless. Obviously, when you're working, there are going to be people that you naturally just more vibe with than others. I mean, that's in any category or any respect at all. And yeah, just do be careful to not shit where you eat. Sometimes when you overlap that, work, friendship, there's like a line, and sometimes it can be weird whether, you're friends with like a manager and, your peers might think that, oh, like you're just schmoozing, or maybe you are a manager and you're making friends with your subordinates and your managerial skills aren't really being looked upon or being taken as seriously because you're making friends with your subordinates, or, you know, even making friends with your peers. And of course, I feel in any corporate environment, there is some of that sense of competitiveness or urgency. And so there might be like some weird flair if, you know, you become very close with maybe a peer or so, and there might be a position that you wanted, maybe they wanted too, and then one of you or the other, you know, gets that position over the other. Those are some issues that I do think can happen if you do make friends in the workplace. So just be cognizant of what's going on and just how the world really works and things like that. I think you can be smart or fine. Honestly, it might even be better if you do make friends at work, like make friends with somebody that like works in like a different department or division as you or something like that. Not that you can't make friends with people that like are in the same division or department with you, but again, there might be some overlap that could diminish that friendship, or, you know, even just future career opportunities for yourself. So you don't want to shoot yourself in the foot. You don't want to mix business with pleasure too much, but workplace is a place that you can make new friends. But I would say it is the riskiest place to make friends on this list. So, okay, so moving on to the next category is joining clubs or organizations that pique your interest. So like I said at the beginning of this video, being your most authentic self is extremely important. Like I stated earlier, I like to base my authentic self based off of my value system and things like that. So with that being said, there might be different things that you take an interest in or that you value more, and you can join clubs or organizations, or maybe a little side hustle, I don't know, and you can make friends that way too. For example, I'm really into fashion and styling and different things like that, and so I walked in the Kansas City Fashion Week in 2019, obviously definitely not this year. I met some people while I was walking the show and everything like that, so that was really fun, and it was just a fun night in general. And yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it. On the flip side of that too, I am into fashion and styling. I easily could have joined a sewing club or a sewing group, or, you know, maybe even some other sort of fashion group or something like that. That's just for me. There could be something that you enjoy more. Maybe you enjoy cooking and or baking. Maybe you enjoy volunteering. Maybe you enjoy working out. That's another medium that you can meet new friends and different things like that. The third way that I would say that you could make some new friends potentially is friends of friends. If you have some friends that might have some other friends that live in the new city that you live in, you could always reach out to them and say, hey, like, do you know anybody that lives here that you think I would get along with or anything like that? And, you know, most people, they'll be like, oh yeah, sure, like this person, that person, whatever. And I think that's completely normal to do. I've done that before, or I've told somebody, oh yeah, like you should talk with this person, different things like that, and like connect people together. More often than not, if you are friends with that other person and then their other friends is friends with them, you guys might have some common interest that would help to build that friendship. And then of course that's like a warm lead, I guess I could call it, where it's like, oh, how do you know so-and-so? Oh, I know so-and-so from here. Oh, cool, I know them from here. Something like that. Friends of friends, don't be afraid to ask. Like, I don't think it's embarrassing to ask. I mean, I think everybody needs to have, you know, one or two quality close friends. That is another third way that you can definitely make friends as an adult. Okay, sorry, like there's like sirens going on. So the fourth place that I'd say that you could just make friends is honestly just talking to random people. This has happened to me so many times. I remember once when I lived in DC, I was in the Georgetown area, and I stopped in a restaurant to go and eat, and I sat at the bar by myself because I literally have zero friends, so I'm like, might as well sit at a bar. Like, so I was sitting at the bar, and I actually needed to charge my cell phone, and there were these girls or these women right next to me, and I said, hey, like, is there like a place for me to charge my phone? They're like, yeah, there totally is. So I was like, okay, thank you. And they seemed like some very nice girls or whatever. Honestly, I didn't even, make the first jump into talking to them because, I got my food and I was eating and I was like, oh my God, like, it's the first time I've been riding the metro. But one of the girls that was there, she was like, hey, like, are you new in town? Like, just wondering, like, do you know the area or anything like that? And again, use your better judgment. Like, I use your better judgment with people and stuff like that. But this girl, and she was very nice, very kind. I was like, oh, actually, no, I'm here. Like, I'm actually staying with some family right now, but no, like, I don't know the area too well, and different things like that. And she told me, like, her and like some of the friends that she was with, they were actually in town for some conference because they did fitness stuff. They were in town for a conference, and they're like, hey, like, we're gonna go out tonight, did you want to join us or anything? And I was like, sure. So I ended up going, getting drinks with them and stuff. And then actually she had introduced me to another girl who was actually her cousin, and then we ended up getting, drinks later and stuff like that. So she was very nice to do that, good person, well, at least the experience I had with her anyways. And but yeah, so that is another way. Also recently, my birthday, I had stupidly gone to the bar, and one of my other friends, one of my close friends from college, we were in the bathroom, and if you're a girl, you already know where I'm going with this. We were in the bathroom, and then we started talking to this girl, and then we're like, oh, hey, like, oh my God, I'm on Instagram, and like, if you know the girls' bathroom. If you go out, you know the girls' bathroom. Like, everyone's so nice in there and hypes each other up, and some girl's probably crying about her shitty boyfriend, and we're all telling her that she's so beautiful and you deserve better. It's like, you do deserve better, honey, like, let him go. And then I'm like, oh my God, I love your outfit, like, oh, it has pockets, like, all that. You know how the girls' bathroom goes. If you know, you know. So anyways, my friend started talking to this girl that was in the bathroom behind us, and then we ended up, like, obviously adding each other on Instagram, and then I actually ended up getting dinner with her and her sister and some of her other friends, so, made some new friends, acquaintances that way too. So again, just even talking to random people, again, use your better judgment, but yeah, that's another way to make friends. If you are still watching this video, make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe. Okay, hit that like button. It really does help me with the algorithm to show my video to other people, so they can also click on it and like get all this wonderful advice. So make sure you click on that like button. Thank you. Above all else, whatever way, it doesn't matter how you make your friends, whether it was through work or some interest group, or a friend of a friend, or even just, I don't know, an app. Like, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, you don't ever want to feel like you are forcing yourself to be friends with somebody, or begging somebody to be your friend, or how do I say this? Like, if you feel like you have to put in so much effort and it's not necessarily being reciprocated back, I don't want to say just like stop, because there are different things, and I'll get into that into a minute, but for the most part, I just feel that you should never have to try so hard when fostering a genuine friend connection with somebody. It could feel a bit more effortless. Don't confuse that with making friends is easy, because making friends is not. Like, it's really not easy. I tend to make friends easily, and it comes off like it's super easy and like it's whatever, but honestly, it takes some work. I do have the mental and emotional bandwidth that I'm able to do that, but I know that a lot of people don't, or they just are maybe a little bit more introverted than I am, or maybe they're just not as friendly. Or with that being said, building a friendship, it does take some time. Somebody like can't hang out once, like, don't take it as like, oh, like they don't want to hang out with me, like, oh, okay, like, no, maybe they're just busy that day, or maybe they just don't feel like hanging out at all. Like, you never know, like, what's going on in other people's lives or anything like that. For the most part, you do have to put some effort out there. Again, be your most authentic self. People can tell when you're being fake. People can tell when you are trying really hard to fit in. It makes people feel uncomfortable. it's weird, and it's kind of like, okay, like, why are they acting like that? People know. People can tell when you are trying really, really hard. Don't hang out with people if you don't really like them, just to not be or just to not feel lonely, because the right people will come along. It's really about quality over quantity. I'd have like 50 friends, be in the room with like 50 people, and feel like you were the most alone in there, and like you're not understood. But then you could be with one friend like on your couch, like drinking wine or coffee or whatever, and feel so heard and seen. You find your vibe, you find your tribe, and it always will work out. Let me know what your experience is like making new friends if you move to a new city, or, you know, like I said, if you just don't really happen to vibe with like the people from your city, not that you don't like them, it's just you have different interests or whatever. Let me know some ways that you've made new friends, or if any of the ways that I described were some of the ways that you made friends. Don't forget to like this video so that way the algorithm can help me. You'll help me, please. And, you know, share this video with maybe anybody that has moved to a new place and like doesn't know how to make new friends. Make sure that you subscribe. Make sure that you subscribe to my channel so you can see more videos like this, because I really do want to help and guide, you know, other people through these like little things, like little idiosyncrasies that no one talks about, like how to make friends as an adult. Like, I feel like nobody talks about that because they don't want to admit that they don't have friends. Like, they feel embarrassed, but it's not embarrassing. Like, hey, like, okay, I don't have a lot of friends right now, but doesn't mean I won't make any. So I look forward to seeing your lovely faces next week. Bye.